Big Bird Plays the Violin by Deborah Hotzig, illustrated by Joe Matthew. One day, Big Bird was singing in his nest. Betty Lou walked by. She was carrying a funny-looking case. "Hi," said Big Bird. "What's in that funny-looking case?" "My violin," said Betty Lou. "I am taking violin lessons." She took out her violin and played it a song for Big Bird. "Gee, that is beautiful music," said Big Bird. "I wish I had a violin. Then I could play beautiful music too." "It is not so easy to play a violin," said Betty Lou. "You have to practice a lot and work very hard." "I am going home to practice right now." "Work," said Big Bird to himself. How can playing a violin be work?" Big Bird made up his mind. He was going to find a violin to play. Big Bird went to the fix-it shop. "Hi, Louise. I need a violin," said Big Bird. "You do?" asked Louise. "I have never heard of you play the violin." "That is because you don't have one," said Big Bird. "Do you have one that I can use?" Louis looked in a closet. At last he pulled out an old violin. "This is your lucky day, Big Bird," said Louis. "You can borrow this one if you really like playing it. Someday you can buy a better one." "Wow, thanks, Louis," Big Bird shouted. "I'll give you a free ticket to my first concert." Big Bird ran home. As soon as he got there, he took out his violin and began to play. Screech, screech, windows opened up and down Sesame Street. "What is that awful sound?" said Bert. "It sounds like a sick cat," said Ernie. Grover and his mother looked out their window. "Oh my goodness," said Grover's mother. "Somebody needs a music teacher." She and Grover covered their ears. Oscar popped up from his trash can. "Hey, that sounds great," said Oscar. That's my kind of music." Big Bird smiled shyly. "Thanks," he said. "I knew I could play the violin." Every day Big Bird played his violin. He played it at night too. It sounded just terrible. His friends did not know what to do. "I do not want to hurt Big Bird's feelings," said Grover with a sigh, "but his violin playing is hurting my ears." Big Ernie and Bert tried to sleep with earmuffs. Snuffleupagus hid in his cave. The Count could not bear to count the notes. Betty Lou was getting angry. She tried to practice her violin, but all she could hear was Big Bird's screeching violin. Finally, everyone on Sesame Street got together. "We have to do something about Big Bird's violin," said Bert. "I have not slept for a week." But how can we tell him how bad he sounds without hurting his feelings?" Grover asked. asked Grover. Suddenly, Bedaloo said, "Hey everybody, I have an idea. Follow me." They followed her to Big Bird's nest. "Hi," said Big Bird. "Did you come to hear my play?" "Not actually," said Bedaloo. "We came to help you learn to play." "You mean you don't like my music?" asked Big Bird sadly. "It isn't music," said Bedaloo. "Not yet. But don't feel bad, Big Bird. Nobody knows how to play the violin until they learn. That is why I have a violin teacher. And I will be your teacher." Big Bird's face lit up. "Gee, thanks, Bedaloo." First, Bedaloo showed Big Bird how to hold the violin. Then she showed him how to hold the bow. "Each string is a different note," said Bedaloo. Big Bird held his violin and played some notes. "It does sound better," said Big Bird. But when will I be able to play real music?" "It takes time," said Bedaloo. "Right," said "It takes time," said Bedaloo. "Right," said Big Bird. "And practice, practice, practice. I will practice every day." "Oh no," everyone cried. Everyone but Oscar. He said, "Great." The end.